Very even kind of matchup expected from the betting scene, apparently. Interesting stuff. I'm still very unsure how to feel about these drafts, at least from SMG. Yeah, I want to see it work. It just feels so... It feels so left field that I don't know how they're going to make it work. But I'm looking very forward to seeing what the game plan is.
Yeah, I think... Again, I just worry about the greed of this lineup. Like, Ricky, if it doesn't get that fast diffusal, heck, if it doesn't get the fast Orb of Corrosion phase boots, it doesn't feel like it's going to do a lot of damage. I think your control here is pretty good from SMG, in that you've got Earth Spike, you've got the Silence from the Ricky down the line, you've got the RNG Chaos Ball to play with as well, and especially that smoke screen is going to put a dent on GXR if they clump up too hard. So I think for GXR's end, you might want to see some fast support force staffs, just to be able to bail out one of your big cores. Like, say, Alacrity in particular will have to watch out for the smoke screens once the Ricky has that up. But beyond that, again, GXR, I mean, they have that Dream Coil and the Terrorize combination. You just break the coil naturally, give you a lot of control in team fights. And SMG has no saving spells. So GXR can just keep running and gunning. If they catch it for SMG, they did get a really good Earth Spike to counteract, but there's just more control, more early burst here from GXR. If they wanted to really fight, I think KP had to show up, and he was just securing that bot rune, so they missed out on the opportunity to trade. Do see the lane split up. Mizu is up top on that offlane puck, as mentioned. He is with Jokam on the pause for Dark Willow. See Raji just running up, getting good right-click damage off. Doesn't feel great for Mizu, and then Raji's just fairly tanky enough to get that done, giving mid one the space he needs on the Arc Warden. So the initial wave's looking good here, but you already have Jokam going for the pull, so he's going to be able to equalize the lane. Lose a courier. Raji just doing great work to equalize the lane as well by getting that pull, and should meet in the jungle. So it's the awkward jungle farm here.
Yeah, I mean, why the hell not? Both sides, they did end up kind of blocking those camps as well, so it's very important as now Raji's going to be chased down, but he's going to avoid all the brambles. The mid one is even there with the Spark Wraith just in case, just to get a bit more bonus damage onto Mizu. And of course, now you're fighting high ground as GXR, so it's rather tough to try and secure your own lane. Mid one, he's going to go ahead and pretty much just deny off all those creeps away from the side of GXR. But we'll have a look at the other lanes as well. Mid lane, Alacrity is there against Moon. Moon having a pretty darn nice time so far on the Ricky. Alacrity not too far behind, but can be a little bit challenging fighting into the Ricky in that 1v1 matchup. Seems like he will be able to catch up underneath his tier 1 tower anyway. Mizu.
It's not...
So he dropped quite low, but he's going to be fine.
Yeah, it's not too bad of a lane mid. You can hold it as the Lesh. You've got pretty good ways to harass out the Ricky if you see him commit the Blink Strike forward with the Split Earth, so you can kind of get your harassment off there. You can see Alacrity's already built up on the Edict, so he's got even more melee matchups for Leshrac. Just tend to work out well if the enemy side plays too far forward, so Moon has to be a bit more...
Looks like KP and Afu, they do want to try and get aggressive with this double stun lineup in this off lane, but again, I don't think it's going to be quite that easy, especially when In Your Dream's already this healthy. They have burnt through a lot of the regen though, which I suppose is one way to get it started.
Yeah, I think you're still having a great time for KP though. He's leading in the CS. You're not really able to do much with Nyx Luna. Like, you can chain stun, but KP's just too tanky to hit, and Afu keeps good spacing out, so he's not really going to lose out on the harassment. And in that sense, you're happy enough. Equilibrium is a good state to be in. You're getting a better time for mid one up top, so he's going to build up onto that Midas a lot quicker than In Your Dream's going to hit, say, a Mask of Madness. And you can just get your Arc Warden rolling faster than Luna. That's all you really care for the state of game right now in SMG's end. Just securing that start for your Arc Warden to really not get punished, and at the least you're getting that done despite these 2 kills on GXR side.
You know what scares me about Arc Warden, John, is I feel like this is going to be a strong, powerful hero at TI-10. I've got this weird feeling, like we've been seeing it more and more, and it just feels like Arc Warden is going to be one of the main culprits in terms of POS 1s at TI-10. Especially with all these TBs and these Lunas coming out, Arc Warden just does such a great job against both of them. It'll be a very interesting time if this new patch never comes out prior to the event happening, let me tell you.
Oh yeah. Gosh. I hope we get something to shake that up because, you know, Terrorblade versus Arc Warden just becomes a battle of who gets the ballista. As you see a bit of chase from Jokam, drops low, but down bot.
Yeah, Arfu. He's copying a lot of harassment here. It's a very nice, valuable kind of pick off there for In Your Dream, and even a TP cancellation coming into that bot lane. Not going to feel very good for the side of SMG.
No, missed opportunity. Have to be careful about how long you leave that CK alone, as he can still get run down. Okay, you do have a nice amount of magic damage coming through from GXR, and that helped stabilize the lane for In Your Dream. Still lagging behind compared to mid one, but with the Morbid Mask up into that Mask of Madness, which is already finished as well, he can focus on the jungle now. There are some stacks being slowly built up, but Alacrity has cleared out the triangle, so he's just going to have to take what he can get on the bot jungle farm. There is a nice ward drop, but it's only watching the ramps, so there's no information from SMG to find that out yet, and In Your Dream should be able to play catch-up in the jungle. It's one of the boons of Luna. Just flash farms really quick when it's given the opportunity with a more Mask of Madness.
Yeah, but for now, mid one's doing an even greater job in terms of farming. Top of the net worth board, 3.5k. Never a good sign if you're the other team, that's for sure. This bot lane, it looks like they are going to try and make a chase onto Arfu and KP, but both of them will get out. Alacrity, the only thing he's going to get out of this is that large camp, and he doesn't even want that. He'll leave the Wildwing Ripper alone for Polison to deal with as he does try to make his way to the other side of the jungle, where there's actually some stacks to take.
Yeah, he's definitely playing a bit greedier, taking these stacks away from In Your Dream down the line. Up top, Raji.
He's going to be fine, it looks like. Mizu's now the one in danger as he tries to orb away, but what an Earth Spike, Arfu! Yeah, lines it up as the orb was flying in. Mizu, he's still just going to try and waiting rift past the tree line, but Moon does have the quelling. Tricks of the trade will be enough. They get a very nice kill now onto the puck.
Really deep dive coming out there from Mizu. Left alone as the supports were again playing elsewhere. There is a smoke play coming out from GXR though. Alacrity gonna look to line up his shots. Moon would be a very good target to take.
And they might just find him. They need a stun though. Dust is out. Alacrity, he's gonna land the splitter. I didn't think he'd get away with that. Bramble's there as well. Now the Impale Polison. He lines up an even better Impale than Arfu did just then. And Alacrity cleans them both up. Bot lane, they're going to try and pressure KP. He was trying to go for a bit of a chase. And it looks like it's going to backfire him. And now as Mizu and In Your Dream are going to chase him down. Lucent Beam's there. They have the Brambles out and they'll get rid of the Chaos Knight. He'll stick charge, but it's not going to matter. Mizu is still going to be able to take the kill.
Yeah, they could find more. They are just lining up the aggression now in GXR. I think the big thing is that they haven't been able to transition this to a push, but they've already taken the mid-tier 1. So they've already taken out a good starting point to invade that jungle early on. Maybe it's time to get some deeper wards in, as mid 1 has been allowed to take control of that top jungle by himself for a fair bit. Has the Midas up.
Space you can get to really be able to get that initial farm up on this Arc Warden. And even with the Midas up, he wants a bit to travel there. He wants the Maelstrom before he can really get active. And now Moon is going to get caught. He breaks the coil. Brambles are there with the fear out. They should be able to burst him down in time and they'll get him. A nice impel there from Polison to boot. And Raji, he'll be chased down. He might just make it out as the orb will not connect. Now, can they turn? Stun out is going to connect onto the puck with the Earth Spike and the follow-up. They will get him. Alacrity, though, has rotated now and is going to chase down KP. The CK in danger as the stun. It is going to land on 2. They got mid 1 as well on Arfu. He is going to drop to boot. Alacrity does finally drop, but what does it matter? You've basically wiped them already. He helped kill off 3 targets. As now Roddy's going to be in danger. Moon does come back in. The Bedlam, it's not going to be enough for Moon. He does get a return onto Jokam as he'll chase down Polison. And Polison does turn around for an impale. A little bit of a mana burn. Moon, he'll keep up the chase, but he won't have enough damage to get through to the next assassin. And that definitely was a favorable trade in the end towards the side of GXR. In fact, it's not even over. They got another Dream Call up. Moon, he's stuck around. He just respawned, but it looks like he is going right back to the grave as Mizu. Has he gone too far? Hex Stun is there. Alacrity, though, 11-6. Both teams kind of having different moments where they end up overextending and giving kills away to the enemy team. And now it's just going to be a 1k net worth the way of GXR. So it is closing back in. As it looks like they're going to try and keep the fight up onto KB. Reality Rift is there. However, the Split Earth is going to be there to follow up from Alacrity. And now KB is going to drop on the CK and Afu. He's going to try and TP. And they do have the coil. They will lock him down through the TP. And that's going to be another double kill the way of GXR.
Oh god, they've just constantly fought that every single time Dream Coil just goes off cooldown, they immediately get to use it. Like non-stop action in bot lane. They've really protected this tier 1, and SMG still hasn't found a tower trade because of it. Now, they have started to split off mid 1. He's just farming in the triangle, farming in the jungle now, which is what you want to see from the Arc Warden. You are lacking some stable space to build up on your Riki and on your CK, especially KP. He is rushing the ad.
Exact same thing anyway. Just to re-invade that Radiant jungle. Pretty standard kind of map movement from both teams. Is now Polison. He is finally going to scout out mid 1. So you do know where he's located, but I suppose you could have guessed that anyway. And now the pings come out, they notice Polison.
A tithe to the impurities.
Yeah, it's the level 1 Vendetta. Duration's not long enough to really go back-to-back in scouting. The control from GXR is still pretty good. SMG, though, are in a comfy spot now to build up. And the key thing is farm efficiency on the other cores. It's only really mid 1 who's going at a blazing speed. Moon is lagging behind even Mizu's Puck, and KP's behind him. So your other 2 cores are being sacked for this Arc Warden to be big. The investment in mid 1 has to pay off. Now, he does have Travel Sop. He can split push lanes by himself. The Mjolnir is going to come up next, and that's when the split push can really just be obnoxious to play against. I think for GXR, if they want to kind of keep their lead up, they need to start thinking about tier 2s or punishing that. They can really melt through some of these heroes if they're not careful. And they might look to leverage that, but for now, more than satisfied just keeping the farm game up. There's no real net worth lead coming out here for GXR just yet. 1k lead up, mainly down to the fact that Moon and KP are lagging behind more so than anything else. Although,
Bottom lane, KB has been caught out again. Quite deep in that off lane, and Polison, he does have Spike Carapace. Problem is, KP's got nothing to throw out to activate it, so Polison will just keep up. Vendetta Strike will be enough damage. They will get the kill, but top lane, Jocam's going to drop on the Dark Willows. They do at least get a support for KP's life. Definitely not the greatest trade in the world for SMG, but it's all about buying enough time for mid 1 on that Arc Warden. In fact, now, in your dream, he's been caught out. Moon's there. However, Eclipse is out. He's going to try and fight back, but he is all alone. They are going to throw everything out, and they will get him. Dream Coil, though, Moon is going to die to the Orb of Mizu. Still a great trade out from SMG. They'll be happy with that. Meatless lead for GXR. Mid 1, he's still top of the net worth board. Still doing Arc Warden things. Queuing up that Eye of Skadi next on this Arc Warden. He's trying to get even more annoying on this hero as top lane, Rogi. He's just going to TP out of the tree line. Not going to be spotted whatsoever. And you start to wonder how GXR are going to deal with this mid to late game now with SMG. Like, you are approaching the later stage of the game. You wonder, do they realize this Arc Warden, do they have a way of dealing with it?
I'd say they do have a couple of ways with their spell damage, although mid 1.
Oh, mid 1. Impel, Polison, he actually connected on both of them. He lined it up perfectly. And Afu's already gone. Mid 1. Ouch. Loses his real life. Not just the Tempest double. Moon is going to try and follow up and trade some kills here. Polison might just drop. No, the neutral cap. It took the tricks to the trade attacks, but it won't matter. Or maybe it will as Moon now. He gets caught out. He's been leashed. Can they take him out? Yeah, they certainly can as Jocam. He even found KP. They aren't going to be able to follow up and kill the CK. But they got 3 great targets. 2 of those being Moon and mid 1. That is not going to feel great for SMG.
And it's going to put them a step back, losing the Arc Warden that way. I think they need to hold out a little bit longer. KP's Ags is almost up. So you're going to have the PC crashing Phantasm Illusions coming in soon, Mike. Always a treat. Haven't seen that in a while. Let's see if the game is any more optimized right now. If our rigs can hold up. But it's almost there. I think that's the big thing.
It'd still be bad as Afu. He does at least get Alacrity, but it is going to cost him his own life. Moon gets a sleeping dart out now on Mizu. He's going to try and follow up, but the Yule Scepter's there from Jokam. That'll make it so Moon cannot commit for the kill. But boy, oh boy, it looked like such a bad start. It kind of felt like GXR, they got baited into that mid-team fight. But it still ends up working out for them. They even got a dieback onto Arthur and that Lion.
Yeah, it's a massive win. And SMG, maybe getting a bit impatient. Like, if I don't know how big a difference the Phantasm Ags would have done, but it is up now. And KP could have had that tool if they chose to force the fight just literally 10, 20 seconds later. And still, GXR are not going to ask those questions. They've got the 5k lead up. They are building up In Your Dream. He's still keeping up pace with mid one, just about 800 gold behind, which again, against an Arc Warden is not a bad number at all. And they're just going to be able to do more. Like, they take the Tempest Double as well, which slowly trickles gold your way. SMG, they have to be cautious. There was one thing that GXR is using really well. Paulson is just walking up to those spark rates and popping his spike carapace to isolate mid one. And that just causes SMG to immediately panic on their initiation. Like, they had to respond quick. It looked good, but it didn't line up in the heroes they wanted to pin down. And if Paulson's allowed to do that,
Impel's there, they've got the
enabling Moon to survive in the first engagement, bought enough time for the rest of SMG to get the damage off, to get the control off. And I think GXR is going to have to be cautious about bleeding out like that. Their lead is down to 1k. They finish up the BKB on Alacrity, which is great. Now they have to be a bit cautious. They're down on numbers. SMG is going to line up for some objectives, maybe eyeing that mid-tier 1, which is still standing at 25 minutes in. And just building up that lead. Their Arc Warden's now 3k above the Luna. That's one major item that mid 1 will have that In Your Dream doesn't have a response for. And for the Luna, it's a massive issue. All these evasion sources coming through with a smoke screen, with a bubble. She needs an MKB. And Roshan, it's not going to take too long here from SMG.
Oh, it certainly isn't. They're trying to make their way over to fight this one out. Orb is going to be there, but no. They don't orb in. Moon, he took the Aegis himself on the Ricky, and now maybe try to go for a fight. Let it be. I never realized, by the way, mid one found a Grove Bow on the Arc Warden. Always one of those very nice items for the Arc Warden to have, in case he didn't have enough attack range yet.
I wonder if he's going to get the Ballista if this game goes late, right?
Oh, let's hope it doesn't go that late, John.
You never know with an Arc Warden. Still, GXR, back foot now, less than 1k lead, mid defense.
Yeah, Arfu out with the finger. Moon is there, tricks the trade onto In Your Dream. Force stuff, no, it's not out. Dream Coil is going to lock 3 of them down though. It's going to be a nice time to turn around and get that Aegis out from Moon as KP. He broke the leash, he's going to end up going down, and now maybe they can find the Ricky a second time as Moon. He'll try to blink strike away and does barely make it out. But they've lost the Aegis already. As Paulson. Impel only on the creep wave.
I think that's enough. You take the Aegis away, you feel a little bit less safe on SMG. You are still buying space out for mid one. Has the Hyperstone in. And see what else he builds up to here. Yeah, it does have the full Moon Shard, so right-click damage through the roof on the Arc Warden. And now it gets weird for Alacrity to fight that Tempest Double. It's not a fight he really wins out with the right-click damage. You have to be super careful. They are struggling a bit in the jungle. Raji just trading hits, but no course to back up GXR here. A bit risky.
Well, runes on the cliff. Bramble's not going to be there in time. SMG still looking to get aggressive. They'll get a Hex there. Onto Joe Cam. 4 staffs away. SMG, even while losing that Aegis, they still want to try and get aggressive now. And mid one with that Moonshine is starting to hit very, very fast. Sleeping Dart, but Moon's been caught. Terrorizer's there, they're going to blow him up. Just a bit too excited there from our Ricky, is now our Fu. Split Earth, or rather stun, is not going to land. Mizu's in, Dream Coil is already expended though. His Aeon Disc is going to proc. Alacrity, that is a lot of damage out from this Arc Warden. Alacrity's forced to BKB up and just run. He might need to try and turn now mid one. He's forced to BKB on his own. In Your Dream's going to try and go for a bit of a chase, but KP, he's waiting for that BKB to end. Eclipse is there. Is it going to matter? They've got Arfu, they've got Roger mid one. He gets left behind. An ultra kill out from In Your Dream. He times the Eclipse perfectly. And I was just saying, with this strat, that SMG should be able to control the map, but not if they get wiped like that.
Yeah, that in a fight where it's more staggered coming through, like GXR picking off Moon first, then SMG kind of break up, they kind of split up and allow GXR to run them one by one. It doesn't work in SMG's favor. They need to work as a team, get their initiation right, stack the evasion with a smoke screen, silence with the Arc Warden bubble to get really a lot of control into your dream. Because if he's not caught out in that smoke screen, if he's not having to deal with a bubble coming through, his physical damage is just going to fly out. He's got the Daedalus now as well, just flying in now. Last fight, he didn't have that. Now his physical damage is really up there. And SMG need to really be cautious. Like, they're trying to scout out with Moon first, treating him like the Knicks. Issue is, he's not as disposable as Paulson, and Paulson has ways of at least juking around with a Spike Carapace and Impale if he's quick enough. So, you have to be really, really careful in how you group up here from SMG as well. 7k lead coming out from GXR. They only found a tier 1 from that entire fight. Like, they couldn't transition to a tier 2. So you're still okay with that on SMG's end in terms of map control. They still have a lot of...
Brewmaster's going to try and run, but Roger looks like he is dead. And meanwhile, on the backside, Arfu, he's gone. Onto Moon now they go. They're still going to try and fight with the Arc Warden, but is it going to be enough? Moon, he's blink striking out of there. Looks like he's going to be fine. Another sleeping dart as well. Into the stun. They've locked down Alacrity. They'll get a Leshrac for their trouble. So it all works out in the end from SMG.
Managing to get that 3-1. Should open up a bit of a push here. They can commit for the tier 2 mid. And GXR, they managed to hold off. At the very least, they don't lose any of their bigger cores in the Puck and the Luna. Losing Leshrac still pretty painful. And that tier 2 is not going to hold long. Creep Wave's coming in. Tempest Double and the Arc Warden itself there. You're going to lose your towers quick. Long respawn on that Lesh as well. No buyback gold. 70 seconds. I think that's going to open up a lot more objectives for SMG. Roshan, we'll see the respawn timer right now as well. If it's a quick one, SMG can counter Lucky Stars, and it is 10 seconds away.
Excellent. Make their way in. Well, maybe not. They might not scout it, but the Spark Wraiths should still get that information. And there you go. Now mid 1 knows it's up. GXR, they're in a bit more of a difficult position now as the sleeping dart is out again from Moon. Stuns are there as well. Nice Earth Spike catching out 2 of them. They've already got Arfu down. In Your Dream actually killed off Arfu, but Mizu is going to die. And now with the Rift in, KP going to control up In Your Dream, but the Eclipse is out. Moon's been caught by Paulson. He's going to drop in the backside, and somehow the fight evens out as they will continue the chase onto the Nyx Assassin, but a nice terrorize in the backside. Doesn't matter though, Roger's gonna die, as well as Paulson, so another even trade.
Stunning. With the Bramble Maze, with the Cursed Crown, can line up. I want to use a lone mid, has to be cautious. There's a lot of heroes there from SMG.
He's feeling much more confident though. He's got that BKB and Satanic up. Pauluson's also feeling quite confident because Arfu's been caught with his pants down and he's going to drop it now. Moon, he's been silenced up. That is a long duration. He'll get the smoke screen. Is it going to matter? Not quite. They do get through the Ricky's HP.
Paulson, he lives.
Paulson does live. Bot lane, however. Arc Warden doing Arc Warden things, pushing out the bot tier 3. It's not going to get too much damage out on it though. Go Cam. Oh, he's got the real Arc Warden mid 1. Tempest Stumble. It's going to force out the BKB charge.
Joe Cam might actually die for this.
Oh. Yeah, he may. He's going to be alright. In fact, they'll go after the Tempest Double. A lot of gold on that Tempest if you can get it. And they will. In Your Dream will take it for himself.
I'm wondering what IYD goes for next. I mean, he still has the Satanic queued up along with the Scotty. Could go for the Scotty. I'd say an MKB sounds nice, but he has the BKB anyway, so probably just banking onto 6 seconds to stand in the smoke screen in the middle of the fight and not care. They finally find a tier 2 tower here in GXR, so they can take Outpost, lock out the next Roche, lock out most future Roshans.
Found the Arc Warden. They found mid 1. They'll get through his BKB. They'll take him down. KP, he's going to try and run on the CK, but he's probably also dead.
Oh my god. Mid one. He doesn't have buyback. So if the high ground does break out here, they've already revealed their Ricky buyback. And the high ground goes so fast when you've got that Luna. This is where it gets scary for SMG. They depended on the bubble to really protect here.
Well, buyback onto KP. They may realize very soon that mid one doesn't have a buyback available. Moon gonna try and delay things with the sleeping dart, but it's not gonna do too much. It only delays by a few seconds as now they're onto the top racks and GXR. This is a very difficult game for them, but they've made it look... they've been very competitive until this point now. 20k net worth lead. They've been looking amazing. Smoke screen, more delaying out from Moon. 43 seconds left till mid one will have the respawn going. But it's going to mean at least 2 lanes of barracks. On the brighter side, they can't get the 3rd lane. But they might be able to get tier 4 towers, and that's exactly what they're going to try for. They'll really realize that mid one doesn't have the buyback now, and they'll try to commit all the way with the Diabolic Edict and the Glaives just bouncing all around. Aghanim Scepter pop from KP, he's going to try and fight. They'll jump in on Alacrity on that Leshrac, but it doesn't look to be enough. The Rift is there, but KP, he's going to drop it now, Moon. He dives to the Glaives. Rogi is trying to run, but he's only got 1 Bruling left, and this game is looking very over. There's no buybacks left. They've gone to the Ancient, and that's it. They call it GG. GXR.
Oh.
They just look so darn good. At least today. But they've been, yeah, they'll dive the fountain. Mid want to die one more time before this game ends.
Oh my god. It looked like SMG was starting to build up there, but then they kept caught out a couple of times. GXR with that great team fight up top, just getting all the targets they need. Sure, they lost Aegis first, but Alacrity wasn't dead. He couldn't die. And they managed to just play around with that. They catch out mid one, who's forced to join in instead of split pushing on that Arc Warden because he is their main damage output. And it just wasn't enough to compensate. Like, there was enough farm on GXR. They had the net worth lead, which was the big issue. When you're running Arc Warden, you want to have the lead. They didn't have it. And they just couldn't line up those hits. It was a good back and forth, though, and it felt like SMG was getting enough space out for KP to get the trickle farm into the Ags, for Moon to get his defusal BKB, but in the end, just GXR isolating them out. The movements from Paulson in particular, just managing to give them the information to take these favorable fights and just shut out the game from a couple of good engagements like that.
Well, with that, of course, we are going to head to a short 10-minute break, and right after that break, we'll be back with Game 2 between GXR and SMG, and we'll see who takes that one out. We'll be right back.